Hello and welcome. Thanks for clicking on. So, welcome to Tools for Living the Magic of You with Delia Yeager. I'm Delia Yeager, and I'm so glad that you're here and that you want to live the magic of you. What the world needs now is a lot more of us being the magical beings that we truly be. It's as though society has forgotten that miracles and magic are all around us and that we are them every day. And the more of us that reclaim that and start to live that way with those beliefs and with those ideas and taking action in that way and communicating with each other in that way, just everything gets easier, more ease. So, here at Tools of Living the Magic of You, we do clearings. You get a taste of clearing energies that no longer serve you, and what it's like when you turn off that, hundreds of those radios and TVs in your head that once you get, tools for how to quiet that so that you can actually tune in and hear what's true for you, not just in words. There's also tools for how to connect in a way that you kind of get to go around uh, the thinking mind, which is so full of other people's information. Something like 90% of, or maybe it's 98% of what we think and even our emotions are not even ours. And the tools that we play with here facilitate moving that out, that energy that doesn't belong to you out, and how to not take it in anymore, not take things on that don't belong to you, and also how to discern in the moment, is this mine or is this somebody else's? And then what to do with that energy. So the more that you're navigating with your information and what's true for you in this moment, the more you're able to make choices that expand what's possible for you. Because all of this contraction that everybody says is the way things are is not the way things are. Our nature is expansive, and you can live that way. And I call it Tools of Living the Magic of You in particular, because their magic is actually anything that's outside of like conventional wisdom. So conventional wisdom says A plus B equals C. You have to get an education so you can get a job, so you can make money, so you can pay the bills. Just, linear A, B, C, D. Most of life is not that way. That's a man-made construction, and it has its uses and its purposes. But to think of all of life in that way is very limiting and debilitating, partly because it's a lie. Life is not A plus B equals C. Life is not your plans. It's all kinds of stuff, and it's stuff that you weren't planning on. And oftentimes, really oftentimes, the things that you weren't planning on turn out to be so much better for you than what you had been planning. Although it can be very bumpy in the moment, right? When your plans don't work out. So I think of magic as anything outside of A plus B equals C. Uh, like I said, A plus B equals C can be useful, but thinking about it other than in a specific incident, it's not only limiting, it drains all the life out of everything, because a lie will drain the life out of everything. And you are so much more than your body. You're so much more than the things that have happened to you in this lifetime, or your conclusions, decisions, assumptions about what's happened to you this lifetime, the way you've graded yourself for how you did or didn't do in any situation. None of that is you. You're just much more than all of that. Um, and it can take some time to get used to that idea and to discover it for yourself. I like to think of this work that I do as a way of giving you a place and a space and some tools to discover the grandness of you. And I don't mean like in an ego kind of a way. I mean, the fact of you is already gargantuan and miraculous. I heard somewhere recently, I read this somewhere, that the existence of each of us is one in like 400 billion, or, just some really long number. And the point is that for you to exist, you're the coming together of an energy, an infinite being, an energetic being that's had lots and lots of lifetimes and lived in every kind of culture. And we know only a fraction of the cultures that have existed in the 40 billion years or whatever, however long we've been here. And you've been in all of them, and you've been you've been male, you've been female, you've been every variation, you've been the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows, you've been the best of the best and the worst of the worst, and everything in between. So the resources that you have as a body personality for how to operate and what choices to make and what decisions to make and what actions to take and what directions to go in. Your resources, this infinite you, is just ginormous. It's beyond imagining, it's beyond comprehension. And using these tools, you get more and more access to that infinite part of you. And then you get more and more benefit from the information and the presence of infinite you. And then you get to start to live as your infinite self. And you'll do that in the order that is appropriate for you in the area that's appropriate for you at the time, so that you start to migrate your identity out of the stories and the history, the things that have happened in your body, the things that you've decided about the way life is or the world is or the way you are. All of that starts to evolve and migrate to the truth of you, which is this infinite being with this fantastic body on this gorgeous planet at this phenomenal time. And how does it get any better than that? And if you're in a place where you're struggling a lot, that can seem maybe too much or idealistic. And I'm here to tell you it's neither. It is possible for you. And if that possibility sounds appealing to you, then this would be a great place for you to just come and see the videos and take um, the classes, join in the calls, and really start to blossom as your infinite self, your true self. Um, One of the things that people ask a lot about is like, what's my purpose? And mostly people have like a job application idea. My purpose is to make people happy. My purpose is to, um, some kind of function. And as an infinite being, I mean, think about a daisy. What's the purpose of a daisy? That whole thinking, what's the purpose? Purpose is use, right? And how do I get used? How do I, a daisy doesn't get used. A daisy is part of a whole. It's part of the hillside. It's part of the ecosystem. It's part of all the life that's going on. Not how we've labeled all those parts, not how we've broken all those parts down, but it's part of life. And you're part of life. You're not a tool to have a purpose and a function. You have just tremendous capacities. And the more you're using them, the more you're playing with them, the more you're bringing them into the world. And that's to everybody's benefit. So we get to think about things a little differently. You get to move energy. You get to find out the more of you that there truly is. And you get to start to live not in somebody else's reality, stuff that people have projected upon you. You get to start to live through your source and what's true for you and what's dynamic for you and what's light and bright and fabulous for you. So, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I love to hear from you. Drop me an email. Let's set up a session. And, the world really needs you being more you. And that's what we're here to do. So, thank you for clicking on. And I hope to see you again soon. And I hope to work with you. All right. Thank you. Bye.